Hey guys, welcome to EuroLeague Fantasy Talks. In this episode, we'll talk about BasketNews EuroLeague Fantasy and our preparation for round 18. And I'm not sure still if BasketNews will launch a mid-season league, but in case they do, feel free to use this video as your cheat code especially for round 18. And moving forward, of course, I plan to continue cooking videos for BasketNews Fantasy as well every round. So hit that subscribe button if you haven't, and of course, thank you for everyone that already had. I appreciate the support. And this is how my team did in round 17. It actually was a below average week because we reduced our budget by 400k and got 150 fantasy points. Vezenkov did alright, Maladon even against Žalgiris defense did very well. Milutinov did below average, he didn't get as many minutes as Mustafa Fall did because of the double week. And Shorts got an average because of the suspended game. Yeah, so basically Kobo didn't play. Tavares with minus 4.5 fantasy points reduced our budget by 230k, Karlik Jones by 110k, Miltonov 170k, and Mirotic 150k. And that is because we had the stats that he had to score a lot of points, and unfortunately we didn't reach those thresholds, so it is what it is. And also our guys didn't grow as much as well, so Akobo unfortunately didn't play due to illness. So let's go and check how much these guys need to score in next round not to drop their price. And in round 18, actually we have a lot of red numbers. Everyone needs to score a lot, well, except maybe Tyreek Jones. Shorts is also possible to score. Vezenkov, okay, we will keep these guys. Maldon, I don't think he will reach that, but at least he might reach somewhere close. So the players to trade are the ones with the biggest numbers. I would like to trade Karlik Jones, but I will trade Akobo because I'm not sure if he is still not ready to play. So I will actually, now in the video, I will trade out Akobo. But then if he seems to be playing, then I will actually switch that guard and I will get him instead of Karlik. I will also trade out Mirotic because he will play against Olympiacos defense. And I will trade Tavares because his stats are really bad for price growing. So I would rather get some fresh center in that position. So let's go and make those trades now. Alright, so as I said, I have to trade out Akobo. I'm trading out Nikola Mirotic and Walter Tavares. Alright, and for my center, I will get Joel Bolomboy from Crvena Zvezda. Bolomboy has a very good stats because he needs only 3.5 fantasy points not to drop his price. And of course, him being the main center and recovered from the injury, now he's doing well and getting back to his usual numbers that he had in the beginning of the season. An away game in Barcelona is not the easiest, but Barca is not doing so well lately. So actually, Bolomboy might utilize that and get some fantasy points for us. And for my forward, I will get Nigel Hayes-Davis. I'm actually getting Nigel Hayes-Davis back because Wade Baldwin is injured again. So Hayes-Davis has to be the offensive guy because that's what Coach Sharas does when Baldwin gets injured. And for my guard, I will get Sylvain Francisco from Žalgiris. Also forgot to mention that Nigel Hayes-Davis needs to score 5.9 fantasy points not to drop his price. And if talking about Francisco, he will play against Maccabi Tel Aviv. And even if Lonnie Walker is not as stable in the recent games as we saw, Francisco actually is the opposite, and he is rather stable in the last 4 games. He's showing good numbers, and now he will play against struggling Maccabi and their defense. So we pick a stable player, and he will also play on Thursday. So which is good to have more players for Thursday. We don't have so many, but we definitely take Cisco. And even with minus 9.2 fantasy points, he would not drop his price. So therefore, he's actually one of the best guards to pick for round 18 for price growing in BasketNews Fantasy. I will go with Vezenkov for Thursday as my captain, and if I will not be happy with his performance on Thursday, I will change my captain to Maladon on Friday. Otherwise, this will be my team for round 18. And let's now go check the price growing stats for top 10 players in each position. So these are the top 10 centers by fantasy points average. I might have removed some players that are injured, but also I might have kept some players that are questionable, so be careful. For example, Laverne didn't play in the last round. Of course, do your own research before picking players, but if these players will play, that's how much fantasy points we need to score for the price not to drop. For example, Devin Booker needs to score 23.4 for his price not to drop. Bolomboy, already mentioned, with 3.5 he would not drop his value. And Vesely needs 26.1 for his price not to drop. Again, if Laverne will play, he needs to score 11, but we are not even sure if he will play. Danaturo and Neil Sacco have actually good stats with 4.1 and minus 1.8 respectively. We would not drop their price. And let's go check some forwards. So top 10 forwards by fantasy points average are Vezenkov, Mirotic, Lidé, and the remaining bunch. Moneka needs to score 7.6, but he's actually questionable, or not sure if he will play, so be careful with him. Jalen Horde 13.8, and Jabari Parker with 7. So those are the best picks. Otherwise, some of the forwards need to score more fantasy points not to drop their price, so which doesn't make them the most budget-friendly picks. But of course, fantasy points, sometimes you have to pick what you have to pick. And let's go to guards. These are the top 10 fantasy points average guards at the moment. Of course, I might have removed some injured ones. In case these guys will play, then of course we need to score this amount of fantasy points. Kendrick Nunn actually with minus 0.6 would not drop his price, so if he plays, he actually is a very good pick. Also Punter with minus 7, also good pick for price growing. Carson Edwards with 15 fantasy points is also a great pick. Mike James 17.8. Kobo and Carlick Jones need to score a lot, so that's the guys I'm trading, or at least I want to trade one of them. So those are not for price growing for sure. And let's now go check the best price growing stats in each position. And in centers, actually we start with Osmane, Matiunas and Khalifa Diop. So respectively, even with minus 16, minus 14 and minus 7, we would not drop their price. So really good picks. And also McCormack, although he's playing against Real Madrid, so check about that. Mustafa Fall with minus 0.9 would not drop his price, so definitely some good picks out here. And if Laverne would not play, actually Saka becomes a great pick again, only with minus 1.8 fantasy points. That amount he would still not drop his price. And forwards, Ajansa for only 179k, he would grow his price, but since Anjay is injured, Ajansa should get more minutes again. Great pick if you have limited budget. Terterpe having a great role, so minus 14.5, he would not drop his price. Wetzel minus 7.5, Voigtman minus 5.6, and Chedesman with minus 2 fantasy points would not drop his price. And at the end we have the guards section, so Musa with minus 10 would not drop his price, a good pick. With Francisco, as I said, he's one of the best guards in this round. Punter minus 7.3. Cordonier is a good pick with minus 5.9, and Sterling Brown with minus 3.5. That's all, guys. To everyone that is celebrating Christmas, I wish you Merry Christmas, and to everyone I wish great EuroLeague games on 26th and 27th of December. Otherwise, for more content on EuroLeague Fantasy, please consider liking the video and subscribing to the channel. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next one.